Pisces, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead, my friends. How are you, my two fishes friends? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. If you're the person who's here for the first time, welcome, welcome. I hope I'll see you in the comments so I can greet you there. And if you are the ride or die, thank you so much for clicking here, as you always do. I appreciate you. Thank you for growing this Pisces tribe. We are just looking at the week ahead, as we always do during the week. And no matter when you find this, Pisces, it's always going to be for the week ahead. So whether you find it today, tomorrow, or next year, it's going to be for the energy for the week ahead. Let's find out what's going on with you. We're just going to throw some oracles. We're going to throw some tarot, and we'll find out what comes out here for the week ahead for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Pisces, please. Tell me what's going on with Pisces. We have admit your vulnerabilities. You have them. Pisces, you're quite vulnerable when you can be, right? When you're really in touch with your feelings. So when you're really in touch with who you are and you realize that it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel things, you can be very vulnerable, right? Someone may require you to admit those vulnerabilities. We have regulate your priorities. Sorry, not regulate, but reevaluate. That's a better word. Reevaluate your priorities going into the week ahead. So just as context, the week ahead begins Monday, and that is the solar eclipse, my friends. So I don't know. Do you have your glasses? I got my glasses. We're gonna see it here in Canada where I am. We're gonna see it at about 70%. I think that Texas and Pennsylvania, I think that around there, you guys are gonna get the full on look at it here. But I feel like things that it's asking you to clean things up, reevaluate things, practice your vulnerabilities. I feel like what's coming up with the eclipse energy here is going to put you in a place of feeling vulnerable, possibly. Oops, somebody's getting a wake-up call. I'm just saying. Trust the divine plan. Somebody is about to get a freaking wake-up call. Let's get to some tarot. What's going on here? Let's talk about it, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Pisces, if you're interested in a private read, I have pinned the first comment below this video. You will see a link to Wizio if you're interested in a private reading. They start at $40. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at you. This is a general reading. Please remember that maybe this isn't your reading. This could be for someone else. However, there might be parts that resonate with you. Take those bits and leave the rest for someone else that it'll resonate with. Here we go. Let's talk about Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter. Admit your vulnerabilities. What are you feeling vulnerable about? Ooh, the Eight of Cups is a vulnerable place to be, right? It's about making a decision to disconnect from something emotionally. It's like I see this card as someone here has decided, Pisces, I think it's you. You've decided that you're no longer going to settle. You're not going to settle for the 8 cups. You're worth the 10 cups. You are worth those 2 more cups. You are worth love. And so I feel like it says here, admit your vulnerabilities, and I think that's one of them. Realizing how vulnerable it is to pull out of a connection or pull away from a job or just not care about it anymore, just detach from it. We've got the 7 of Cups. It is overwhelming and confusing. Vulnerabilities are. We've got a lot of water energy here. We're talking about feelings. We're talking about emotions and feelings and vulnerability. And I feel like you don't have a problem admitting your vulnerabilities, but I feel like they're going to be on full display in the week ahead. That's what I feel, because of the 7 of Cups, of course, is the place where you're kind of confused or overwhelmed with your own emotions. And it feels like you need to pull away from that, or you will be pulling away from that. Tell me more about Pisces, please. One more for Pisces. We have the 9 of Wands. I think you're over it. Pisces, I want to say you're over it. You're almost at the end of the cycle. So the 9s, right? The 9s are the place where you can put down the weapons of war. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to carry around these problems from the past, these things, these traumas that you've been carrying around. And look, they're maybe not even yours. Maybe you've decided to hold them and carry them for someone else. But it does feel like something is almost over here. The end of the cycle is almost over. So I'm going to say that in eclipse fashion, that I feel like something new is about to begin for you, Pisces. And so something here is telling me that there is a cycle that's coming to an end. But I want to say it's a hard cycle, Pisces, because we do have the Nine of Wands, right? It is a hard cycle that you've been through here that is about to come to an end. But I think you're deciding that it's coming to an end. I don't think anyone else is walking away from anything. I think what you've decided to disconnect from is the confusion and the chaos and not being able to control your feelings in any situation. I think that you're ending that cycle and you're walking away. And although you're admitting to your vulnerabilities, I feel like you're like, I'm not settling for this anymore. I'm not going to give you my vulnerability if you can't give it to me. Tell me about reevaluating your priorities. It feels like in the week ahead, you will be reevaluating priorities, and they could be money, friends, children, household, right? It's 3D things, it feels like. Friendships, love ships. What are you reevaluating here? You're reevaluating your spiritual commitment to the self. And I kind of like that. You're reevaluating your priorities. And I think the first card out is about being the spiritual teacher. I feel like the first thing that you're looking at here is, what is my commitment? And is my commitment to me? Or is it to other people whose burdens I've been carrying around for a while? I think you're reevaluating and putting yourself first, I want to say, because the Hierophant is the leader, also the spiritual teacher. And so I feel like you're going to put your spirituality first here, which covers you, right? The spirituality is something that you need to have in order for you to have a pretty steady and solid grounded kind of energy. It's Taurus energy, right? You might have a Taurus placement. Tell me more. We do have the Three of Pentacles. You're reevaluating your 3D world and how it fits into spirituality. I want to say that we've got the Pentacles that are practical, and we've got the Hierophant, which is spiritual. So I feel like what you're reevaluating is trying to get some balance between your practicality and your spirituality. And it feels like it starts with the Three of Pentacles. I feel like somebody's going to be going through the Facebook list or the list on Instagram, or even just in your pentacle world, right? Reevaluating friendships and whose team you're on and who's really on your team, Pisces. Because the Three of Pentacles is about collaboration and cooperation. And are they watching you do all the work, or is somebody here actually, holding you up at times of need here? Like, are they elevating you when you need them here? So we do have the Six of Wands. I want to say that reevaluating your priorities is actually what you're doing here, is who is on your side? I think that's the energy for the week next week for you. Who's on my side? Who's my person? Who is my best friend? Who is the person who is going to cheer me on as I head for the finish line? Because you're heading for the finish line, right? You want to know who's going to be on your side, who is going to allow you to drop these burdens. And I feel like that's your priority. It feels like your priority is getting over the finish line, getting some victory. And you would really love if people were there to cheer you on, like a friend group, right? With the Three of Pentacles here. And I feel like that's the prioritizing thing that you're doing, that you're reevaluating who's with you and who's against you. We do have the Queen of Pentacles. Why is that? Because of the Ace of Swords. So you are speaking up here. So I think that what you are realizing or coming to a realization of is that it's time for you to say something. It's time for you to soar. And it's time for you to soar from the Three of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. And you got to do it by cutting some things away. I feel like with her third eye open here and this sword, it tells me that clarity is what you're getting in the week ahead about your pentacle world, about what really has value to you, and what really it all means to you. To like who is the person who has the most value? I think you're closing your friend group, or you've decided that you're not putting up with that family member who trash talks you and causes issues in your family. Or, somebody who used to be really close to you, a best friend who now is maybe talking about you. Maybe you're hearing things. Like, I feel like the reevaluation is that. It's just that. It feels like you are looking at friendships, groups of people, who's cheering you on, who's on your team. right. Let's take a look at some moonology. We might as well. We're in that energy, right? By the way, happy retrograde. It began yesterday, and unfortunately, it's going to be with us for at least the next 30-ish days, and maybe even longer, because we do have, it's a long retrograde this time. It goes from the 1st until the 21st, and then we have like a week and a half or two with the energy still, that are dissipating after that. So it is going to be at least another 4 or 5 weeks in retrograde. So buckle in, my friend, because you got a whole lot going on in your sign right now. And you might want to catch an astrologer on the platform that can tell you about that. But there is a lot of planets in Pisces right now. I'm not the one who could tell you about that because I am not your astrologer. We do have a fiery climax approaches, and that's coming up on Admit Your Vulnerabilities. It feels like you're about to have a conversation with somebody. Full moon in Aries. Look at that. We aren't having a full moon in Aries. It is a new moon, but it's a new moon eclipse in Aries. What could go wrong? We're in the year of the dragon. All this fire. What could go wrong, right? So, a fiery climax approaches, and you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. So, I think that's really so appropriate, right? You're realizing your worth here, Pisces. You're realizing your worth. You're doing some reevaluations of your pentacle world, of your spiritual self, and figuring out who's on your team and who's cheering you on. The fiery climax approaches because you're going to admit your vulnerabilities, and you might just say to someone, look, I am the psychic one. I am the one who is always giving you cups, but I can't carry your crap around anymore. And you can't put it on my shoulders. I just can't do that to myself anymore. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. I like it. So yeah, I feel like you really need to figure out what it is that you want to do with the people that are in your life and what place they hold in your life here. Tell me about this fiery climax here. I feel like you're headed to something big. I'm telling you, I'm getting head to toe chills right now, Pisces. And it says a fiery climax approaches. And we know that this eclipse is in Aries energy. Tell me about the fiery climax. I feel like you're going to end up walking away from someone or something. And if you don't walk away, I feel like you're going to emotionally detach, I want to say. That 8 of Cups is the Piscean energy walking off. I'm just not doing this with you anymore. Tell me about the fiery climax for Pisces, please. We do have the 6 of Wands again. We have the Page of Swords, and we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, you're headed out. You're like, I'm out. I'm good. I'm done. I'm going out on this new path of passion here. It feels like somebody is watching you have your gains, I want to say. Somebody is watching you as you cross the finish line. It might be somebody that you decide that you have maybe not spoken with, or you've decided that you're done with them. Maybe you unfriend them, or maybe you just decide that you're not going to say anything to them anymore. But it feels like with the 6 of Wands here, I want to say that there is somebody who's watching you. They're watching you have gains. They're watching you do really well in your life and having some victories. And, people are celebrating you. I feel like they're watching you from a distance, and they see that you are on this brand new path. They see also that you are holding your ground, that you've got some pretty tight boundaries happening here. So I want to say that this fiery climax that is approaching here, I want to say that it's probably from the outside looking in. That's what it feels like, that somebody here is about to possibly communicate with you with the Page of Swords here. It is somebody who feels like they have enough information about whatever it is that you're excelling at in your life, and they want to have this new path of passion with you. Tell me more about this, please. Tell me about the Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here? Because it feels like somebody here, the Page of Swords is looking over at the 6 of Wands, which tells me that this is someone watching you go for it. It feels like it's somebody that you've put some tight boundaries up. This person's not allowed to cross your boundaries, and they have to watch now from the outside. It's like, nah, bro, I'm not going to block you. Now you can watch me win. That's what it feels like here. We've got the 9 of Cups and the Fool. Yeah, somebody seeing you take a risk, taking a leap of faith, doing something that's good for you. The 9 of Cups tells me you're single and happy. Your wish fulfillment is here. Someone is watching you embark on the Ace of Wands, excitement, creativity, something brand new and fiery, passionate. You're excited about it, and they're just sitting and watching. Yep. Tell me about You Are Good Enough. I really do feel that these things are going on, that you have this energy of reevaluation because you feel good enough. Like you just don't need people anymore. And you may want to have a select few in your life, but you just don't need it anymore. Tell me about the You Are Good Enough card, please, for Pisces. Tell me about You Are Good Enough. We have the Hermit. We have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Six of Pentacles. Look, I feel like what you're ending is you've decided that you are whole by yourself, and that you definitely have gone over details, right? We have this card, Virgo, and we have Virgo here. You've definitely done the hard work of looking at the self, looking at the shadow work, figuring yourself out. And it feels like going over the details and finding your own light is bringing you to this place of reevaluation. What I want to say is that you are done spreading your time around to people who just don't appreciate you. I feel like it's a painful thing, but I feel like you have found the word no, my friend. I feel like you have found the word no. I feel like you have given a lot to a lot of people, Pisces, and I feel like you are eclipsing some of these, I want to say beggars, and I don't think it's for money. I want to say that these people come around and they take a straw and they sip on your beautiful knowing. They sip on your psychic energy, and they just feel entitled to be able to do that whenever they want. But I think you're out of there. I think it's painful and you didn't want to do it, but you know that it's best for you. And I think that you're going into this eclipse knowing what is best for you. Look at that. We're dropping the burdens here. We've got the 10 wands. We had the 9 over here, right? You finally drop these burdens here because it's time to go. The Wheel of Fortune is what's changing. And what's changing here is that you are dropping these burdens here. You've decided to walk away from something. It could be the Six of Pentacles, where people, I feel like you give people all of yourself and they only give you breadcrumbs. They give you little bits. It's like, maybe you'll be there for them in a hard time and help them talk it through. And when you need somebody, it's like crickets. Right? It's like breadcrumbs here and there. And I think that you're putting that to an end. And it's because of the Wheel of Fortune. A lot of things are going to be changing for you going forward. A lot of the readings I'm doing, especially in the sneak peek, if you haven't seen it yet, like most of the signs are going through the Wheel of Fortune here. We're going through changes. Things are ending. Other things are beginning. It's a faded time. And the reason why you don't really have to manifest as we're in this energy of the eclipse is because whatever's going down is going down, period. And you have no control over it. It's faded time. It's a faded time. So I feel like you have decided that you are going to be dropping your burdens. And you're not going to, you're going to be selective as to who you give your energy to. The Queen of Cups, I always say, when she is by herself, she is at risk, of having... Of being depleted, right? Because a lot of people come by just because they love the beautiful, kind, compassionate, thick blanket sort of energy that you give them, right? You're always wrapping them in love. And I feel like some people are taking it for granted. So I feel like you've decided to drop those burdens and you're on the way out. All right. Let's take a look at this. Tell me more about Pisces, please, in the week ahead. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Pisces, please. We have forgiveness. You know what? You're not going away angry. You're not. You're just saying, look, I'm sorry. I've got to face me now. I've got to focus on me, Virgo energy, the Hermit. I've got to focus on me. I've got to focus on dropping burdens. We have the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. I've got to put these things down and pay more attention to me than I ever have. It's time to stop spreading your energy so thin. And I'm going to say you're doing the right thing, because the Wheel of Fortune wouldn't show up if you weren't. It is a faded time for all of these things. And eclipse energy, it's like we have a new beginning in the new moon, but the eclipse energy is the end of something. Boom. Some of you are going to be ready for these endings, because it looks like for some of you that you are prepared to walk away, prepared to do your own thing and reevaluate what you need to do. But it feels like for some of you, you may not expect it. Things might just come to an end. Someone might ghost you. Someone just may decide that, yeah, I'm not doing this with you anymore. Or maybe it's you. Take it as it resonates. But, it's sort of energy from an eclipse. We never really know what's going to happen, but the universe does. We've got enlightenment. I love that. All right. We've got on the bottom of the deck, solitude. I feel like solitude is right here with the Hermit. I feel like that's what you're going to be practicing in the week ahead, that maybe you are going in within the self, right? With this Virgo energy here, going within the self to figure out what you can do without, my friend. Talking to the moon, feeling the energies. As we get closer, some of you who possibly have Pisces in the sun, moon, or rising, you might be feeling a little bit weepy. You might be purging some things. I'm already getting weepy. I'm a Pisces moon. Yeah, the crier. And so I'm already purging some things here. Tell me about enlightenment, please. What will Pisces be enlightened? I feel like for some of you, you're getting a software upgrade. Like your body, I feel like you're getting an ascension. That's what it feels like here. Tell me about the enlightenment, because I'm just looking at this boat. It's coming off the water and heading into the sky. It feels like there is going to be some sort of an ascension here. Tell me about this. We do have the Three of Wands, and you've been waiting for it. I think you already feel it, that there is something coming and you don't know what it is. It could be enlightenment. It could be ascension. It could be communication. We do have the Eight of Wands, and so things are about to speed up here, but if it's not speed that we're looking at, faster, and it probably is because it's the Eight of Wands, it does feel like there's incoming communication. The wait is over because the Three of Wands is here, and what's arriving is communication, fast-moving energy here. There it is, my friends. There it is. So we've got the Lovers. And so for some of you, you're going to have a decision to make. I feel like for those of you who are in a relationship now, I feel like someone's coming back who is also a soulmate. For those of you who have nobody right now, I feel like there is somebody that you have on the mind as you click here. And I feel like for some of you, it could be a Gemini or a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. But I feel like the enlightenment is you're going to figure out who the soulmate is, or you're going to figure out who the one is that is for you. This is a choice. It feels like for some of you, you will have a choice to make between two people, maybe more. Tell me about forgiveness. I think forgiveness is for you and for other people. You're going to forgive yourself for not taking better care of you spiritually, maybe for some of you physically, mentally, health-wise. I feel like you're going to be embarking on a new health journey. Oh yeah, I think Saturn is in your sign right now. I could be wrong, but I think it's there. And Saturn will do that. Will make you sort of look at yourself and say, what can I do for myself? More self-care. I need to eat better. Maybe I need to get out there and walk for 20 minutes a day. That's what it feels like is going on for you here. We've got forgiveness, and it brings up the... What? Oh, what? All right. It brings up the Devil, the Tower, and the Queen of Wands. Look, I just said all of that, right? That it looks like there is some obsessive, maybe toxic, maybe addictive type energies that you have been, let's see. I feel like with the Queen of Wands, it feels like you've been chasing things, I want to say. Maybe you haven't been chasing people, maybe some of you have been, but I feel like you've been chasing things, and it feels like you're feeling like less than when you don't catch them. I want to say with the Devil and the Queen of Wands, for some of you, you've decided that you're no longer going to be part of relationships that begin in fire, because fire burns out. I want to say that this Queen of Wands with the Devil, I want to say this tells me that you're going to be attracting a lot of things, because it's like the Devil is obsessive, right? Obsessive, Queen of Wands, really good looking. This person is tenacious, does their own thing. Somebody who's a business owner, independent by themselves. And I feel like you're flipping into overdrive for some of you, that you are going to decide that you're going to leap over this Devil because the Tower is here. The Tower is here to break down the Devil energy. So if you had any doubts, any reservations, things you thought you couldn't do, fears that you had, I feel like the Tower is here to bring you some news. Look, you are the Queen of Wands. Some of you could have fire. You don't have to have the fire at all. But I feel like the forgiveness here is of the self. I feel like you're forgiving yourself for not noticing your worth, not noticing your tenacity, not noticing that you can do it alone without a partner, without people on your side. Like, I feel like you would love to collaborate and cooperate with people and maybe, build something in the 3D, but you can do it alone. You don't have to do it with anybody else. So I want to say, if you have any doubts, obsessions, things you can't stop doing, any addictions. And I mean, it goes from, maybe you've got some sort of an addiction to something that is like, a drug or something. It can go from that, but it's also shoes and purses and suits and tarot cards, and you know what I mean? Maybe you're impulsively buying something and it's time for that to stop. So whatever you've been impulsively doing, I feel like it is time to let that go. We've got Scorpio energy here. We've got Capricorn energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, more Aries energy over here. We've got Piscean energy here too. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo energy is here along with Virgo. We have Virgo and Aries under here, and Gemini is here. What is this? So, the Five of Pentacles, just asking for an outcome in my head. Sorry, I didn't say that loud. So you go from being the Five of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. Look, you go from feeling like you're not in charge, like feeling in poverty, feeling it could be financial for some of you. And I want to say if it is, you're going from the Five of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. So you're getting three more Pentacles, which is right here. And it could be that you're getting an opportunity to be in a group of people who are like-minded, who might bring something to you, an opportunity in the 3D. So we do have the 5 to the 8. This could mean money, but it could also mean that you've been disconnected from working on you. You've been disconnected from the self for a while, and it's time for you to get to it. We do have the Six of Swords, and it tells me that you are disconnecting from anything that is chaos and moving to the calm. We do have the Four of Wands here, and I feel like you're moving towards stability. That's what you're doing. Six of Swords tells me you're done, you're out, and you're moving towards the stability that you need. You just don't see it right now, because I feel like a big decision is coming up, and it's coming up quickly, and I feel like it's probably, woof, got the Ace of Cups here too, and it feels like it's coming up with this eclipse energy. Yeah. All right, Pisces, I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Oh, that went a little long. I didn't expect it would go that long. I'm going to go for now, Pisces. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.